Everybody uses this expression all the time. We need a green economy, a greener economy. I'm not sure I've heard a great definition yet, though. So when you say it, what does it mean?
At its simplest, we need to do things more efficiently in order to waste less. Secondly, we need to pollute less. Thirdly, we need to start valuing our natural resources, our ecosystems in terms of their true contribution to our economy. At the moment, we do not do so in the national system of accounts. Therefore, we treat ecosystems, biodiversity often as invaluable, which means in economic terms they're without value and get used and abused not in a way that sustains our economies. Therefore, food security, energy security, climate change, these are all phenomena that are essentially a product of an economy that is not looking at balance at planetary boundaries. Transition towards a green economy is not a parallel universe. It's looking at our economy today and seeing how we can do things more efficiently, or, to use a simple term, decouple our economic growth from the way we consume and pollute.
In the minds of many Canadians, especially having gone through that difficult and severe recession, that trade-off, do something about the environment, hurt the economy, is still present and living in the minds of many Canadians.
A petro-economy will kill more and more our manufacturing sector. Our currency will go up and up following the price of oil that will go up. It's certain that it will be the case. I say that this strategy is wrong for the country, including Alberta and Saskatchewan. If we were asking the oil patch to clean their mess, you would have a much more diversified economy. You would use much more of the skills and talents of young Albertans and people of Saskatchewan and everywhere in the country. It would be much better for the economy. It's what I argued in 2008 with the results you know in Alberta and Saskatchewan for the Liberal Party.
If you're going green, you're investing in new technology. You're investing in new transmission systems. You're doing a lot of things that are smarter, smart electric grids, which are much more efficient for the delivery of electricity. You're investing in new power systems. If you do something that's really smart, and here I'll stick my neck out, have a carbon tax. Really set a high price for carbon.
Because that went over so well in the last Canadian election.
Yeah, but it was mishandled. It's still the best way to go. Create a carbon tax. You create a market for all these new innovations and new investments.
We need to start looking at where is employment going to come from in the years to come. And it's not in the traditional heavy industrial sectors that are rationalizing labor out of the production process. So let's look at anything from renewable energy, energy efficiency, public mobility, infrastructure investments, agriculture, vital part of feeding the world. These are sectors that are labor friendly and can be developed in a way that provides employment. And I think that is a debate worth having.
Ben, would you deny that a green stimulus will, in fact, create a lot of jobs?
It will create make-work jobs. For example, the nations that we've been talking about, Germany, Spain, yes, they have wind energy jobs because they have wind mandates, but actually these are all nations that have higher unemployment rates than in the U.S. When wind energy is created, it takes a lot of tax dollars. That siphons jobs elsewhere where that money would have otherwise gone. And because wind energy is more expensive, every one of these countries that were mentioned has higher electricity prices. That's a job killer too. So unfortunately, I think these alternative energy mandates lead to higher energy costs. Sure, they create jobs within those industries, but they kill jobs elsewhere.
Are there new and more jobs being created, green jobs, as a result of this policy?
I think the answer is mixed. Are some green jobs being created? Yes. But the flip side of that is, are jobs being destroyed? And the problem is that when governments take taxpayer money or electricity consumer money and spend it to subsidize a particular activity, a manufacturing plant or a type of generation, when the government spends the money, we can see a factory being built, people being hired, looks like job creation. But we, the consumers, we, the taxpayers, no longer have the money. If they spend $100 million of our money, we ourselves are going to spend $100 million less. And that means we'll spend less on discretionary food and clothing and entertainment and whatever we spend our discretionary dollars on.
Are you saying it's a wash? We're going to create this many jobs, but we'll lose the same number of jobs?
My starting point would be, yes. Governments don't create jobs, they move them around. They move them from all around to the place where the minister cut the ribbon.
we are creating jobs. There are the inverter jobs. There's various metal shops that are assembling the infrastructure for these solar panels. Right, SRs, I believe, making the steel for the columns for the wind turbines. I mean, it really is happening. I'm a little distressed that we can't. Economist says we can't. The government can't create jobs. I'm not sure why we spend all those billions in stimulus money, because that frightens me a little bit. But
we're creating jobs now and taking them away later when we have to pay the taxes to
fair enough.
refund the money.
But I think that there are real jobs happening.
Joyce, does it seem to you, though, that we are apparently creating these new jobs in these new frontier industries, but we're simply replacing old jobs in fading industries, and therefore it's a net wash to the economy? Is that the case?
Well, that's not my impression. I mean, I think they are new jobs, and we are looking at, we're seeing new training programs and new educational programs coming out of the community colleges for wind energy technicians and these kinds of things, that those services are going to be required. I think it really points to the fact that we need policy certainty going forward.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the numbers of jobs have returned, but they're paying half of what the old jobs paid.
Well, not in the clean energy sector. I mean, when you're looking at those clean energy jobs, they're next generation jobs. Many of them are engineering jobs. I mean, it's a whole gambit. I was at a place in Scarborough, Samco, 60 new jobs there. They've moved from the auto sector into the clean energy sector, but they have 23 suppliers that are supplying them as they're building parts for the solar industry. This is a huge industry, thousands of jobs, and billions of dollars of investment.
I think his discussion of the 16,000 jobs is one of the more important points, and the discussion about my colleague Larry Sullivan's column. The difference is that Larry was looking at the net job creation after you look at the loss of jobs in the rest of the economy that's paying for the subsidies. And the minister kept coming back to, no, we counted very carefully how many jobs we're making in these factories and putting up these windmills. But he's talking about the gross jobs you get without looking at any effect of paying for the thing.
You're convinced it's a net loss?
Economics 101, there is no free lunch. You have to look at the net effect. And in this case, I think almost all energy economists will tell you the net effect is you destroy more jobs than you create.
Okay.